Surprise, motherfucker.
What is up, everybody? This is your host and a current, somewhat co-host. Junior's in the house with me for the foreseen future.
Yeah.
And we're kind of testing things out here. We finally got all the podcast streaming places that are available to us ready to stream our stuff. We also just got the
YouTube channel.
That's ChappysPhlokkingPodcast.
Yeah.
All one word. You made it really simple.
Yeah.
Really simple. The special guest that I have with me is Junior. That's what I'm going to refer him to because he is Trouble Junior, as I am called Trouble, and he is my kid. So everybody's going to learn to know him as Junior, because he's just as much trouble as I am. So, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go back and forth kind of with each other here real quick about some of the things that he may have seen on social media that he didn't like. We're going to start with what he didn't like that he has seen on social media, and we're just going to kind of go back and forth. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn this over real quick. And what do you say, Wes? What are some of the things that you've seen on social media that you don't like?
See, I don't really look at a whole lot of social media, but the little snippets that I do, it's a bunch of the same things being said.
What do you mean? Like you say the same things? You mean like one person will say something and it'll go viral, and then a million people will do it?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. And like I see that all over. I'm not going to go in depth on what platforms are out there, but we all know them. You know, there's been a lot of them out there. I've seen a lot of them come and go.
Yeah.
I'm 43 years old, and I've seen many apps come and go in my lifetime. One of the things that I hate seeing is, like, you get people on there that's genuinely trying to bring joy and happiness to other people.
Yeah.
And then while they're doing their video, be it whatever they put their video on, because every app out there now you can put little snippets of video on.
Short.
Yeah, short. Yeah, some of them are called shorts. There's always somebody that comments on there, oh, you shouldn't be doing this because you're fat.
Oh, my Lord.
You know? Or you shouldn't be doing this because, you know, whatever the reason. I mean, there's so many different reasons that people use, and that's one of the things that, you know, like, that irritate me about some of the things about social media. Now, we're not going to go into a full, like, this is kind of a short introduction to what we're going to be doing.
Introducing me.
Yeah, I'm introducing. We already put out an introduction. I put out an introduction video, kind of learning the whole app on how to do it. But what I'm going to let you guys know right now is Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, we're going to be releasing a recorded video. Which this is what you're going to find here, guys. You're all going to find this is a pre-recorded. When you finally listen to it, this was pre-recorded. And then on Saturday, we're going to do a live podcast. The two of us.
Yep.
We may have people calling in. Viewers, listen. On Saturdays, when we go live, I'm going to have a phone number and a texting system set up. And if you come into the chat on Spreaker, which you can chat right along with us. But on Saturdays, we're going to do it live on here. And then we're also going to do it live on Twitch, which is a whole nother monster that's going to be crazy because you get to see our smiling faces and hopefully the interaction. You'll be able to find our podcasts on any streaming podcast app that's out there. From iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple. It's on everywhere. There's some on there that I haven't even heard of. And then, of course, the newest thing we've started, we kind of went back and forth with this today, was we're going to do a recap video of everything that happened on those 4 podcasts throughout the week. We're going to create a video, and we're going to throw it up on YouTube. And then eventually, when that grows, we're going to start doing, you said it earlier, kind of like a live, but not lives, but it was more like a vlog almost, like a vlog. So we're going to be adding videos, and so just guys, stay tuned. Wesley, I'm going to turn this over to you. Whatever you want to say and throw out there. I'm long-winded, so when you want to talk, jump in, and that's just kind of, what's going to happen. So just remember that. I'm still working out the bugs because this thing has sound effects and stuff, and I don't know. I think you actually have to turn off the mic to play the sound effect, which it could be a pain in the ass, but I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go. Literally, we are sitting in our living room, and we're on the laptop, and we're going to be bringing you this. Maybe we might go 10 minutes. We may go 20 minutes. It's kind of going. The reason I started this podcast, I'm going to go into this, is, as you all know, I was on TikTok. I mean, I only got 7,000 followers or whatever. But I got tired of it, and I decided I did a last live. Some of the other creators came into my last live, and I don't think you even know this story of why I left. Basically, I did a video with my granddaughter. Yeah. We were wrestling on the floor, and I put the video up on TikTok, and I put the music behind it. Something about, what was the music? I don't even remember what the sound clip was. Well, basically, it was, you can do whatever you want to me, but don't try to think you can do anything. I don't remember the exact sound clip. But anyway, the sound clip said, don't mess with her, basically, because you'll have to answer to me. And the video got banned.
Wow.
So, that kind of was a stepping stone, which led me to what I'm actually going to talk about, is Phlock.
Yep.
This is not sponsored by Phlock in any way, but Phlock is a new anti-bullying 17+ app that's coming out. Beta is getting ready to release. They were just talking about it tonight in a Telegram group chat that Junior and I were listening in on. A lot of great stuff. But I encourage you, if you're listening to this podcast and you're tired of the bullshit that you're getting from other social medias, if you're being bullied or anything, I strongly encourage you to go over to www.phlokk.com. Read it over, look at all the perks. I'm not going to go into it because there's so many perks.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of perks. Wesley...
I only just recently got into it.
Yeah, Junior literally has only been in it... I've been talking to him about it for, I don't know... Couple weeks now. And he actually just officially joined yesterday. And, but there's so many perks I'm not even going to try to. So I'm just going to... If you're listening, I encourage you to go over there. and hopefully you guys see why it's worth checking it out. Now, as far as what's to come, I'm going to go over what... I know Wesley Jr., a.k.a. Junior, you'll hear me slip his real name out there. He goes by anything. Hell, I holler, hey, you, and he answers. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about a lot of things on this. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of social media. Because there's a lot of all three. Because social media controls people.
Nowadays, it really does.
It really does. With algorithms and all that stuff. I mean, you could be watching a video on, or you could be looking up something and it just all over, you know. You Google something and it's on Facebook next. It's an ad on TikTok. I've seen it, my own thing, when I was looking for tires for my car. Next thing I know, I'm getting tire ads on TikTok. You know, when you first bring up TikTok, it shows you an ad.
Yeah.
I hate that now. That's why I'm glad I'm leaving TikTok. I still have my account, but I don't do anything with it.
I ain't been on there in a couple years.
But I jumped on there one day. I had just Googled new tires and on my phone.
Yeah.
And then they say, I know, on TikTok, here's these tire ads. And I'm like, what the? Come on, people. I already know I need the tires. You don't have to tell me again. Right. I already know I need them. But we're going to go over that. And we're going to go over, we definitely want the interaction with you guys, the audience. That's why we've set up a call number, a texting number, in the live chats on Twitch and on Spreaker, which we will include all of these on our Twitter account. We got Instagram. Like, you'll find this information all over the place. And we will, I'll be damned. I know I live in the ghetto, but I see some really crazy shit. I literally just seen a field mouse, run through my house.
What the hell? Where did it even come from?
I have no idea. I'm speechless.
Like,
he come out, looked at us, and went into the dining room. We're going to have to take care of that in a little bit. I don't know what he's doing.
I don't know where he went.
I don't know where he went. I don't know where he came from. It looks like I'm going to have to get me a fucking cat now. I have no idea. Now, officially... Hold on, I need a drink here. I'll go ahead and talk for a minute, Puss.
You just recently moved down here with Pops.
Mm-hmm.
And loving the weather down here. Hot as hell.
Down here is North Carolina, to some of you that don't know. It's definitely a different type of weather. He's from Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm betting he'll miss that foot and a half of snow every summer. Or every winter, I'm sorry. But I'm still confused about where that fucking mouse came from. Fucking little damn thing looked right at us and took off.
Yeah.
So, what was I gonna say? But anyway, we are gonna have special guests, like I was saying. Probably on Monday. Well, not probably. Monday at 8 o'clock is when we're officially going to start releasing our pre-recorded.
Mm-hmm.
I am my younger brother, who is a genius.
Oh my Lord.
And I'm not, listen guys, I'm not exaggerating. My younger brother, one of my younger brothers, is a genius. Tech Sauvé. And the kid knows anything you can possibly talk about. He actually works as the tech guy for Progressive.
Yeah.
Like, when you have a problem, or if they have a problem with their website and all this, like, that's who they call him. Like, so I'm gonna call him. we're gonna get an interview with him on his personal. Now, listen, guys, these are all personal opinions. None of this stuff we're talking about is factual stuff, unless I tell you where I found this fact. That's the only time that this stuff will be factual. Okay? If we're just talking like we are right now, these are our opinions.
Just
okay? It's what we're thinking. And not everybody's going to agree with us, then that's fine. Everybody has their opinion. That is absolutely fine. Now, my younger brother, Robert, is extremely opinionated. And he will probably
have some really good.
He'll probably give us some good insight on some things, but so that'll be probably on our Monday or Wednesday pre-recorded podcast. I'm gonna try to get a special guest for our Saturday. Either on the phone or, like I said, with the phone being able to, you guys being able to call in, it'll be nice because viewers can call in, give their opinions, and if
bring up a subject,
get their opinions, and I'm like, my mindset is I like to debate. And I always take the opposition of a conversation. That's just how I am. We can all be talking about something, and I may agree with you, but I'm going to bring an argument from the other side, from the other point of view.
Yeah.
That's just how I am. So, without further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and end this. This was supposed to be a short little intro, and we're already like 17 minutes in. This is going to go fast. It's going to be great. I'm pretty pumped. How you feeling?
I'm loving it.
All right. He spent 2.5 hours today trying to figure out an editing program in YouTube.
And I did it.
He did it, and once he gets using the program more, the videos will really start.
Oh, yeah.
It'll really start coming together. There's already a video up on YouTube that, again, is Chappy's Phlokking Podcast. If you Google Chappy's Phlokking Podcast, it'll come up, and you'll find the Twitter, and you'll find multiple things. But I'll make sure I leave the hashtags and the links in the descriptions of everything that we do. I'll even link in Junior's stuff so you guys can add him too. He can use a friend. The ones in his head are not helping him at all.
But they do have good advice.
Yes, they do have good advice. So playing in a puddle outside though, that guy, I don't know what that guy was thinking. That guy was telling you to go play in the mud. I don't know what he was thinking.
It was fun.
I know, it looked fun. But you didn't have to clean you up at 6 years old. You just stood... Well, no, that was fun, because I got to spray you with a garden hose. That was fun. I have to say, that was fun. But without further ado, guys, we here at Chappy's Phlokking Podcast, we love you guys. Hopefully we'll hear more from you, and you hear more from us. So this is Chappy. I'm saying peace.
And I'm saying deuce.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yo, what is up?
How we doing?
Thank you for tuning in to the Chappy's Phlokking Podcast. We will have a special guest with us at some point tonight. We got a caller coming in, a special guest, so stay tuned for that.
Gonna be a ton of fun.
We're here to bring you the good, the bad, the ugly of all social media, and I cannot wait to hear this guest's opinion.
He's got so many of them.
He's an opinionated person, so First off, as you guys know, I want to thank all you guys that have tuned in so far. You guys are showing lots of supports for us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I see you guys out there sharing our links and all kinds of stuff. Be sure to tune in tomorrow if you want a recap on YouTube.
I'll be putting out a video sometime tonight. I'll be putting it together and editing it. I'll have it up by tomorrow morning, and it'll be out for all of you.
Yep, and you can find us that link. You just go ahead and go into the search, and it's under
ChappysPhlokkingPodcast, all one word.
Yep, and you'll find it. We've already looked, but there's a couple subscribers on there already, a couple views. Yeah, we did the YouTube because you can go to every you can go to any one of the streaming sites, and you can go through the list of podcasts or whatever, and we appreciate that. Okay, we're not going to hold anything back. We're going to be open books. That's where we make our money. But we decided that there are people out there that just want to sit, watch YouTube, and because they're already on it, and they can get the entire week's recap.
So that's what we'll be doing. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, we will be doing some sort of podcast. And on Sundays, we'll be sending out the recap for that week.
So stay tuned tomorrow. You'll see the video. We'll put up posts too, so you guys will see them. We'll be tweeting out over the Twitter and all that stuff, so you guys can see it. And on the topic of what's going around on social media, there are some things that I've seen in the news that TikTok's going through a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah?
About selling information.
Really?
Yeah, and they might be getting taken down off the App Store.
You see, they've been saying that for a while now about taking them down. I'll be a bit surprised if they actually do, though.
Well, I'll tell you now, if they do, I don't know the exact figures of how much that company makes, but I know it's up in the millions. I don't know the exact number, but if they do, people are going to be looking to a alternative, and there are a few out there. Myself and Junior actually are part of phlokking.com.
Yes, sir.
It's a anti-harassment type of site for 17 and older. Now, guys, we don't get paid to say anything about Phlock. Just to get that out there. We don't get paid by them.
We just want to put out some sort of word about them. Get people's awareness up.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of perks and benefits to join Phlock. I'm not going to go into them. There's a million of them. If you guys want to go over to www.phlokk.com, please go over there and check them out. They're looking to add 20,000 founders, and as a founder, you get all kinds of perks that you don't if you wait for it to come to the App Store, and it will be on for Apple and Android. You can get it on both, but when it hits those stores, it's going to be 99 cents.
Yep.
And that's a way to deter. One of the ways they're going to deter bots and bullies from getting in their app. That's only one of the ways. There's many. Like I said, there's lots of perks for Phlock, but we're not here to talk just about that. Like we were talking in our last podcast about things that you've seen on social media that you didn't like or something of that nature. So, personally, I see it all the time as the trends go in and out. We're going to use TikTok. Right now, we're going to talk about TikTok. It started out as, we were talking about this early, just in general conversation. We all know that it started as musically, and people were getting noticed for their music and, playing instruments and this and that. And then it turned into what it currently is today, which is half-naked men and women shaking whatever for all eyes to see.
Yeah.
There are kids on that app that can go in there and see that. And to me, there needs to be a separation. Granted, kids will learn about that stuff all on their own, but they don't need somebody else, in my opinion, to show them or teach them. So that's just my personal opinion. I don't, like I said, guys, these are personal opinions. We've said this before. These are our own personal opinions. This is our podcast, and we'll say our opinions on our podcast. If you become a guest on our podcast, you can tell us your opinion on our podcast, and we'll let you do that, which we are. We are going to be calling guests. Like I said, we have our very first one that's going to be calling in here in probably 10-15 minutes. We spoke earlier to make sure that all the audio and stuff was working. And it's working. So, when we get to it, we're going to get a website set up, so it'll have all of that information on there, as far as where you can text us and where you can, phone in and all that stuff. Now, our schedule, as you said earlier, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Regular podcast.
There's a pre-recorded podcast released at 8 o'clock. Saturdays is when we're going to do our live podcast, which means you come to Spreaker, you find our live podcast, and you can interact in the chat.
We're also going to be going live on Twitch on the same time as we're going live on Spreaker, so you can join us there as well.
Yeah. And then the interaction of all of this will be going on to the YouTube channel that is going to, as we said earlier, going to be released on Sundays. So, like I said, we're still in the very beginning phases of this. We've got, all of this podcast stuff set up. We set up another thing. We set up Linktree, guys. So if you go into the bio of the Twitter, in that Linktree, you'll see the link. Everybody, I believe, knows how Linktree works. You go in there and it gives you links to go to other places. We have in there places where you can listen to us, as far as what's in there, Spotify,
iHeart. We got the YouTube on there. We have, I believe we put Spreaker's
on there. And the biggest thing we put on there, which we released today, we released gear today. It's on our Linktree. You guys can go to our Linktree. We actually lowered their suggested prices to what we're making. To be honest, guys, we're not making any money off of our gear.
Really?
Not nothing we can quit our day jobs over and, become millionaires.
I wish,
but we want to try to make it. We both know economy is not the highest right now, so we're trying to pass on some kind of savings onto you guys as much as we can. And yes, it's putting less in our pocket, but it's going to give you guys some merchandise to represent this podcast, that anybody in the world can get on this podcast with us and give their opinion on social media sites. And this could be any social media site. If you want to come on here and you want to talk about Facebook, you can come on here and talk about. You want to come on here and talk about Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. What other ones are out there? Whatever other ones are out there, there's a million of them. But those are like the big
handful.
The handful there. You can do that. You can come on here and give us your opinion And that's what this podcast is about, is getting people's opinions about social media.
And discussing that.
And discussing it. And then we're going to, as we get going, like probably, I think next week, probably Friday, we're going to go into some hard facts about what is happening to social media, as in why it's dying off. And we're going to go into, and I'm going to get the truth facts. This is going to be stuff that's factual and not just opinion. And then we're gonna get some people in here to hear what their thoughts are. So
and then we'll also be going live next Saturday, hopefully, all software and programs permitting.
As of right now, the speaker programs are fine. We did a little test run with our Twitch program, so hopefully that. Thank you, caller. Who do we got on the line tonight? Thank you for calling ChappysPhlokkingPodcast. Who we got?
Hey, Chappy, how's it going? It's Robert. How you doing?
Hey, Robert. How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
All right. I already informed the listeners that we talked a little bit, just letting them know that we were trying to get, being that you were our first call-in, that we were trying to get the audio and everything. So I've already let them know that. And I also let them know that about you being very opinionated about things and very intelligent about things. So I guess, first of all, what is something that you've seen over the years? Because you grew up in the beginning of the internet, your high school years were during the internet, explosion.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
What's your opinions of where the internet was and what it is now?
I mean, to be honest with you, years ago when the internet first started becoming big, the internet was mostly used for information sharing. Ultimately, that's what it was made for. I mean, people would put stuff on the internet to share with other people so you can read it anywhere around the world, communicate anywhere around the world. So in the early days, it was just nice, informative, and very peaceful. Nowadays, people share what they had for lunch, what they plan on doing on their night out, and yeah, well, it's like you said earlier, opinionated. That's how I am. The whole world is like that now.
Very true.
Yeah.
You can't do anything online without somebody having an opinion of it.
Right. Now speaking on that, do you think people having this opinion has hurt, in our case, our country? Well, I don't know if our viewers know, but we're from the United States. Do you think that everybody having the access to give their opinion at their fingertips, because everybody's on their phones nowadays, do you think it may have hurt our economy and our country at all?
The economy, not so much. I think the economy is just fluctuating based on the whims and the needs of, capitalism. And that's something totally unrelated to your main topic,
right?
Which is social media and how it affects the country.
Right.
That's a totally different thing. Getting away from the monetary structure and moving right into social media and how it affects the people. I think it does, because now you have information that comes to you almost instantaneously, no matter where you're at.
Right,
you can be on the east side of the States, in New York or in Florida, and somebody can do something on the west side over in California, and you'll get that information almost immediately.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, it's a matter of perspective. When somebody tells you something on the internet, that is their perspective.
Right.
You gain an opinion of what happens there. So let's say, for example, you see a video of some girl slapping some guy on the internet, okay? Next thing you know, that poor girl gets blasted by everybody who reads it. Oh, she's not a nice person. She just slapped that guy for no reason. and that's the perspective that the audience gets based on what they're given, the information they're given, right? What they don't tell you is what led to that slap.
Right, exactly.
Maybe the guy said a derogatory word to her and she didn't like it, so she slapped him one. Well, okay, now that we know that bit of information, we kind of go after the guy, and we attack him for his very evil and vile words towards the woman.
Right.
And the perspective changes. And that's the key thing about social media is those that share it get to control the narrative.
Right.
And if you look at how the political scheme of our country has gone, especially like the last 5 to 6 years, the information we're given by 2 different political entities over and over again is changing our perspective every day.
Yeah, I agree with
and
that.
it makes it worse when we only see their perspective.
Right.
And I'm not trying to align with one political party or the other, because they're both just as guilty. You see it all the time where one side will say something and the other side takes it the wrong way, and they twist it and they interpret it and they share just the tidbits from social media that they want to spin their narrative, and then everybody's opinion changes to what they see.
Okay.
It could be completely wrong because there's so much that's left out. Unfortunately, I feel that in that regard, social media has done a disservice to this country and its people.
Okay, that's what my next point was. I was gonna ask you: do you think that politics control social media more than what the public realizes?
I don't think it controls it. I think it's just a matter of opinion. You know, public opinion is what is a big focus for how our government in the state is run. You know, sometimes the vote may not swing the way public opinion declares it.
Right.
But when it comes to political ideals, you know, we have some very major topics that are floating through the country right now. And it seems like whenever anybody shares one point of view and it opposes what the other side believes, they get caught up in a huge argument. So I guess it's a yes and no answer for that one.
Right.
Yes, it can be controlled because, you know, you have certain political entities, you know, senators, even the president sharing information, and they're trying to be as political minded as possible, you know, putting the people focus first. But they've got that political alignment. You know, they're Democrat, Republican, whichever side they're on. They're aligned with that, and they need to make sure that their people that follow behind them stay behind them. So they try and say the things that the Republicans want to hear, what the Democrats want to hear, okay? And they can use social media to do that because it's instantaneous conversation. You know, if one political party wanted to put out a press release on a subject matter that is a main topic in the United States these days, what they'll do is they'll share it on social media, they'll announce it with their perspective in mind, and then the people that follow behind that political party will believe it. Because, I mean, you got to believe everything you see on the internet.
Oh, yeah, you got to believe everything you read on the internet.
It's
you know,
all true.
It's all true. So, okay, so let's switch gears here. We were talking about how back in the day, TikTok, formerly known as Musical.ly, okay, I don't know if you know the history of TikTok at all.
I know a little bit. My brother used to use Musical.ly a lot. So.
Yeah. So we discussed how it went from people just trying to be noticed, singing and this and that, and now it's literally men, half-naked men and women shaking whatever they can, and you have underage children on this app. Now, granted, they're going to learn this stuff through their neighborhoods, through school, which... my own personal opinion is they shouldn't learn about that at school.
They shouldn't.
That's my personal opinion.
Right.
But they have their parents and all their friends. They're going to learn about this stuff. The last place they should be learning it is on an adult type of application.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely agreed.
That's my opinion. I believe that if TikTok was smart, they would actually uphold their guidelines,
Yes.
which they don't. So,
Right.
but I mean, I don't know if you have an opinion on as far as what have you seen on any? It doesn't have to be TikTok. It's just the one that I'm picking on right at the moment because they're under investigation and might come off of the app stores. So they're just kind of hot topic in my mind right now. But is there anything you've seen on any social media that's kind of raised an eyebrow in your eye of why are they doing this?
I mean, the TikTok thing that you mentioned is a clear thing. Another thing I noticed, if you delve deep into Twitter, you can find Twitter accounts that violate all sorts of Twitter's, terms of use. Like, blatantly violate the terms of use. And those accounts have been up forever. They're just like, I don't know if they're routing through VPNs or if they're just finding some backdoor way to keeping their accounts open, but there are clear violations of stuff that is clearly inappropriate for the Twitterverse. Twitter is made to share conversation.
Yeah.
It's just to say what's in the moment, what's happening with everybody's lives, share details about specific events, characterizations of groups, and it's basically like a very small news outlet. People can share news that way. But you can go into the deep recesses of Twitter and find so many topics by so many people that are blatantly breaking terms of service. I see it all the time. Like, I'll have somebody that I follow share another post, and I usually take a look at the individuals that are part of the original post. What else are they sharing? What else are they posting? And some of the things that I've seen are quite disgusting.
Yeah,
I instantly report, I block, I'm like, that stuff doesn't need to be on Twitter whatsoever. Because there are kids that use it.
Yeah.
It's not as popular in the youth these days as, say, TikTok is. But, there are people that are younger, there are people who may see that as disgusting, as vile, and, breaking the terms of service. They don't need to see it. So,
right. Exactly.
I usually do that. I go in there and I instantly block it, I report it, and hopefully it goes away. Now, I go back through every 4 or 5 months when I have some time, and I'll take a look at some of the muted conversations or the blocked accounts, and they're still there.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's
mind blown.
Yeah, and the reason I asked is today I was on Twitter, posting out, the feeds and stuff that, for the podcast, like I do every day. And I got a follow, and I checked it. I went down the rabbit hole, as they say. And this guy had explicit X-rated. I'm talking X-rated stuff on Twitter, and I'm thinking to myself, how is this not in violation of any kind of guidelines? And it's not like he had it hidden. It's not like it was hidden somewhere. It's on his his feed. This is blatant. This is, hey, very blunt. I'm going to do this, show this, and there's nothing Twitter can do about it. That's what it looked like. Yeah. And I'm like, wow.
Oh yeah, I've had the same experience myself. I do a lot of gaming online, and I share a lot of gaming materials for various titles. And I happened to get a follow by somebody, and the name just caught my attention. I was like, what is this? And I clicked on it to see what it was. And when I started looking at it, same thing. Explicit stuff. I'm like, okay, I understand that you like the game that I'm playing, you like the content that I'm sharing on Twitter, but your account has ties to this, and now you're following me.
Right, exactly.
So that made me feel a little off-putting, saying, what are you doing here? What is this?
Right.
Why are you sharing all of this vile content on your Twitter, and then you're following me? So now people are going to think that I have something to do with your content.
Right. And that's the thing,
And
like,
that makes it even worse.
there are sites out there. If you want to, sell those things, there are sites out there that's specific for that. And go do that. Don't put it on something that any, 15-year-old kid can get on, and go, oh, let's go down this rabbit hole and see what I can find.
This?
What is this? And that's where social media, to me, is taking its turn, and it's gonna be its own demise in a lot of ways. I know there's other companies out there that are trying to get ahead of that and release some apps and stuff to get away from that and be a better platform for people. But it takes money to do that.
And time.
Right.
And it's not like, you and I, Robert, you and I can go on the internet, we can create an app. But if we want a really good app, it takes time and money. And if you don't have some kind of financial backer, or you're not in the money, you have to go about ways to raise the money, and it takes time, and people were like, oh, you're scamming. This is actually technically going on with a application that Wesley and I are part of. There's been people that called them scams. Right. They called them scams because they didn't release the app yet, and it's been 13, 14 months or whatever it's been. And it's like, people don't understand, if you go in and try to actually create that app with no money and just your followers basically helping you do that. Go ahead. You see where you're at in 15 months. So, but we're gonna switch gears again. So tell us a little about. We're gonna get personal here a little bit. I already know where you're from. You're from up north. I'm not gonna go in specifics. English not working. But tell us, what are some of the things hobby-wise you do? What kind of work you do. You don't have to be, give names of things, but I mean, what do you do?
Oh, well, on the work and business side, I mostly do. I work IT at a service desk for a company, and essentially the employees of the company will call in and have an issue computer-wise. So I'm very familiar with a lot of the inner workings of a Windows computer system, and I'm able to troubleshoot all of these internal issues, applications, hardware, to try and get the programming working again and get them back into a status where they're able to reach out to clients and customers and deal with that. So that's what I do on the business side. On the hobby side, and you can include that into a work sense too, I play a lot of video games online. I enjoy streaming to Twitch, which is a social media platform for video game sharing.
Yeah,
live streaming.
Yeah, we're going to live stream.
I do that a lot. And, so I do a lot of live streaming, a lot of video games, hang out and do things with spare time. I like playing cards, trading cards, for example. I play a lot of Magic the Gathering. And I also like to go out and fish every now and then. So I'll go fishing in local holes around town and hit the lake or something like that. I live up north, like you said, right off one of the Great Lakes. So
right.
That's what I do mostly.
All right. Well,
I love hanging out with my family. My family's important too,
Yeah.
I have a couple of brothers and a couple of sisters and some family. I have a really annoying nephew, but I love him, even though he looks just like me. It's so weird. It's so weird. He looks just like me, and I just enjoy spending time with my family and hanging out. And that's me.
Right. All right. Yeah. Well, would you be up to calling in again at some point in the future and talking some more or anything, we're always looking to, talk to people. Like we were saying, we're looking to add more guests and stuff. And maybe, whenever you get some free time, give us a call when when we're going to be live and stuff. You can just call in, So, I mean, if you're up to it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
So, well, we're gonna let you go there, Robert, and we're gonna finish our show. We got a few shout outs we gotta do.
All right.
Speaking of your Twitch, go ahead. You got a Twitch channel?
Yes, I do. That's twitch.tv/GenieWH. That's GENIEWH. I stream mobile games, adventure games, Overwatch every now and then when I want to get salty. And I do it every Friday and Sunday with maybe a sprinkle of something else throughout the week.
All right, yeah.
You can also find me on other social media as well, at GenieWH on Twitter. And, that's about it.
All right. Well, we'll make sure that we get you added. We'll add you. We'll personally add you on Twitch and Twitter. We're always looking to support people that called in and supported us. So we want to thank you. Before I let you go,
absolutely.
Junior, do you have anything you need to add? You've been really quiet.
I've sort of been just letting you take the center stage. You hit just about everything I would have wanted to ask him, and I'm pretty happy with the responses.
Okay.
Like we said, he's pretty opinionated.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Just hearing him talk about all his views on social media and his views on everything, I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's been a really it's been a really good interview and talk with you, Robert.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
We look to talking to you again, my friend.
Absolutely, anytime. I appreciate it, and good luck with the program. I'm going to be invested very highly in how this looks in the future.
All right, sir. You take care, and we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you.
Have a good one.
Enjoy your night.
All right, guys. That was an awesome guest. Like I said, he is very opinionated, and he knows his stuff.
He really does.
He really does. He knows tech.
He's been working in it for a while.
He's got his college degree in it.
Mm-hmm.
I've known Robert a long time, and he's a good guy. So it was good to see. It was good to hear from him, and I'm sure we'll have him on again. We're gonna remind you guys, you can go to our link tree that's in most of our bios on all social media. Just be on the lookout for our schedules. Keep a lookout for tomorrow's YouTube video. Definitely check out the merchandise. Like I said, we're not looking to make a whole lot of money in that. And we will be releasing another pre-recorded podcast on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we might have a guest. We may not. We don't know. So thank you for listening to Chappy's Phlokking Podcast.
Yes, sir.
With Junior.
Yeah.
We're out.
Peace.